got another 45 minutes spare before a customer turns up. So I'm going to try and get the bass channel sockets on my Bassman build wired in. So I want to do V1 and V2. If it goes well, we might get V3 done as well, but we'll see. But, you know, I'm taking every opportunity I've got now to make progress on this. Thank you to everyone who commented on the last video on the build. Seems you guys are enjoying it too. This is, for those who don't know, I'm building an amp that Fender never made, which is a 100 watt black panel Bassman. They did the silver panel in 100 watt and 135 watt and 70 watt, but the black panel ones are only available in 50 watters. Well, I've always wanted to do 100 watt version, so that's what I'm doing. This is a prototype, it's a proof of concept, and there's some things in here which are experimental, things that I'm doing that I know work, some things that I'm doing that I don't know if they're going to work. It's development, I'm learning, I'm trying different things out. Specifically, grounding schemes, layout, and bits and pieces like that. So you might be looking at this thinking, well, that's not the standard way of doing it, that's unusual, that's different, what's going on there? I'm experimenting, I'm developing stuff, I'm trying different things out. What works in some amplifier circuits and designs doesn't work in others, and vice versa. And the only way to get a step away from the theory and to see what actually happens when you build this stuff is, of course, is to build it. So I'm just going through that process and learning and trying to understand and saying, well, actually, what I do in a Marshall style build or a Vox style build doesn't work in a Fender style build, or sometimes those things do. Until you build it, you just don't know. Once I have built it and I fired it up, I can then assess it and say, well, actually, that hasn't worked out the way I wanted it to. This bit has, this bit hasn't, not sure about that. Let's keep tweaking. And the way I'm building this is to give me maximum flexibility to develop and adjust it in the future. So none of this is concrete, none of this is absolute. It's all designed, so once it's fired up, I can make changes if required. So I hope that clears it all up. Anyway, so we're going to do V1 and V2, which is, because I'm running shielded wire from the front side of the chassis to the back, the grid wires will be done later on, so it's just the anodes and the cathodes on V1 and V2. Apart from this one, this is a signal wire to V2 pin 7. On V3, which is the guitar channel preamp, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 wires. So again, it's just anodes and cathodes, no grids on that one. And it's a long tail pair phase inverter, so we might get onto that, as I said. But I'm going to time lapse it, just a bit of extra content for you guys. And then we've got a nice record of the development of this particular amplifier to see how it goes. Right, enjoy. Okay, all 4 preamp sockets done. How happy am I? 95, 96%. This is why it's important to build stuff, not just theorise about layouts and stuff. You've actually got to build it, because when you're doing it, you realise, 1, a mistake you may have made, and 2, what you envisioned in your head in practice doesn't quite work out for whatever way. So you may have seen in the footage that I swapped these 2 cathodes around, and I actually wired one of them up wrong. So because the cathode, so V1A pin 3, this is the cathode here, right? Now on my layout that I've got on my iPad, it's not so much of a run, that's quite a long distance, whereas in practice it is. So what I probably would do on the next one is not have this cathode here on this rail here. I'd shift everything over and have my cathode resistor and cap here, and then I could have a nice run round to there and then connect it to that rail underneath the board. But again, there's no problem having it here. It will be fine, just it means you get a slightly longer run of wire than you wanted, which is then more difficult to keep it neat, and you can see I'm still tweaking it to get it where I want. So that's one thing. Same on this cathode here, right? Again, a long run down. So probably what I could have done is swap the position of this network here, the tone stack and the 2 anode resistors, with the cathode network. So reverse those positions, means the 2 cathodes could be connected here directly onto this ground bus here, and then my tone stack there, and whatnot. Again, it doesn't really matter, but you know my rules, constantly develop and improve. And so on the next one, if I was going to do that, these would be changes I'd be looking to make, and going on and so forth. The other thing that I wasn't quite happy with is no, that's it actually, that's fine. I've still got to do my negative feedback here, which goes to my speaker socket, so it might end up being a flying lead, or I'm going to have to fish it underneath, down and along and round. And again, this is the problem with using a pre-punch chassis, and you're building your board layout to fit the chassis rather than the other way around. What you want to do is optimize your board layout and then drill and punch your chassis to match. It's easier to tweak and stuff. But we're working with constraints, and so there's always compromises to make, and you always make the best of a bad situation, for want of a better phrase, rather than anything else. So that's where we are. Overall, I'm quite happy with it. You know, if there wasn't big holes here, right, may have been able to route wires differently, but it's a prototype, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be easy to tweak and modify and learn from, which is the whole point. But I think that's turned out pretty well. I will keep adjusting and tweaking. I'm especially pleased with the way this one's turned out. I think that looks great. But overall, yeah, quite happy with that. Quite happy with that indeed. So what would be next? What would be the next job? Well, next job would be signal leads from the board to the output sockets. I didn't actually wire those in from the underside and have them running out this way. I am going to do some flying leads and some flying shielded wire for those. So that will probably be next. I've still got to do my bias supply and the rest of the power bits. Then it will be mains. Then it will be output jacks. Then it will be heaters for me. And then finally it will be input jacks and flying leads, so my grid wires for my preamp. So surprisingly close on this, but I've now run out of time. Customer's going to be here any second now, so I need to put this away. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that so far. Once you've done your preamp sockets and your front panel, it does feel like you've hit a big milestone. Right, so I'm now, so I've advanced the build quite a long way. So really happy indeed. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. It is Friday the 13th, so unlucky for some, but not for this build.